Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Sahab Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Wednesday night at Darul Uloom Kantaria in Bharuch, Gujarat, India. Wednesday, the 22nd of Ramadan, 1447, 11th of March, 2026. Our Hazrat Wala is saying that I give bayan here something or the other. Allah Ta'ala accept it. Qubul kar le to samjhe ke hum bhi mukhlis hai. Kiye pesh dil o jaan ke humne nazrane. We have presented. Qubul kar le. If Allah Ta'ala accepts it, then we'll understand also that we are sincere. We have presented with our hearts and our lives this sacrifice. Now, because of you talibin, you seekers, my knowledge has definitely increased, and Allah Ta'ala make this beneficial. So here, you people have gathered. Allah Ta'ala give me the tawfiq and hidayat of passing on and echoing the true sentiments of Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab. मुझे सही तर्जुमानी करने की तौफीक अता फरमाए. So here, our Hazrat Wala our Hazrat Wala is speaking or quoting after the ayat of the Quran Majid, قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ وَيَحْفَظُوا فُرُوجَهُمْ ذَلِكَ أَزْكَى لَهُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا يَصْنَعُونَ. Our Hazrat Wala is saying, quoting the qawl and statement of Abu Hayyan al-Andalusi. He says that قُدِّمَ غَضُّ الْبَصَرِ عَلَى حِفْظِ الْفَرَجِ لأن النذر بريد الزنا ورائد الفجور والبلوى فيه أشد وأكثر. Abu Hayyan al-Andalusi rahimahullah ta'ala used to say that lowering the gaze is mentioned in this particular ayat before safeguarding the private part, because the gaze is the precursor to adultery. It starts off there. The one, it is the precursor to adultery, the one which steers a person towards immorality, and its tribulation is severer and excessive. It is severer and excessive. So Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, when he went to Bombay, he spoke much about looking after the eyes and controlling the eyes. So he would say that our coming year should not be the means of us getting involved in sin. That we in a place like this year, now we should look after our eyes. So there's two things here. One is ittibai sunnat, and the other one is burai se bachna. Following staunchly the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and abstaining from sins. In fact, even before the carrying out of good deeds, what is before that also? It is staying away from sins. So in all those journeys and travels of Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab to Bombay, he spoke much about Ghaddul Basar, lowering the gaze. So this, again, Hazrat Wala is saying, ta'at ko baja lana. To practice on the ta'at, good deeds, and stay away from the disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you do that, then Allah ta'ala illuminates the heart. In fact, the Nabi himself was cautious, would never raise his gaze. You know, we were in the private apartment, our Hazrat Wala is saying, of Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, and from these wedding processions or whatever it was, the sound of music was coming up to the flat, to the apartment. I can't tell you, the whole face of Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab changed color. And then he went on to say, Ab kaise bacha jaye? Now tell me, now how will we look after ourselves and protect ourselves? Close that door. Close that door. So when we don't have this, which is the staying away from sins, then we cannot even take one step forward. Now, by Hazrat Tanweeh, there was much emphasis on this abandoning and staying away from la ya'ni. Staying away from la ya'ni. Now here again, Shaykh Sadi rahimahullah ta'ala said, the person who safeguards his private part and gaze, the filth with which immoral people are sullied will be purified and his actions will be cleansed by virtue of abstaining from the unlawful which the carnal hankers after and invites him to. Now whoever desists from something which Allah, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala recompenses him with something better. Something better. Min husni islamil mar'i tarkuhu ma la ya'nih. This is why the beauty of a person's Islam lies in his discarding whatever does not concern him. This here applies to futile speech and futile casting of gaze. Futile speech and futile casting of gaze. So Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, when he was in his apartment upstairs and he found us just talking like that there, meaning it was not constructive or we were taking a break and this and that, then what was it? What did he say? He was terribly upset about it, and then he said, from now you will write to me about your spiritual state and ittilai halat. So just him saying that, it was like as if our ruh, jaan nikal gayi, our soul had left our bodies. So nazar-e-bad, this casting of lustful gazes, ghibat, etc., to save oneself from it, this is actually what we were supposed to write to him, that what was happening. Are you able to do this? Are you able to stay away from all of this, that and the other? So now this is a place of islah. कामयाबी तो काम से होगी, न के हुस्न कलाम से होगी, जिक्र के इल्तिजाम से होगी, फिक्र के ihtimam से होगी. So, a person should be paband on the Shariat. Here, our Hazrat Wala is quoting the statement of Allama ibn Qayyim, rahimahullah ta'ala, where he says that futile speech and futile casting of the gaze are the true propellants, are the propellants of most evil actions. These two are the largest entrances for shaitan because they neither get tired nor fed up. So, a person should therefore remain sharp and intelligent. He must ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for patience and salvation. He must sever every path which would contribute to the destruction and deprivation of his self. The deen of a person is his capital. If it is lost, he will suffer loss in this world and in the year after. This is more so in our times where temptations are falling on people like raindrops. The doors of doubts and desires have opened wide through these modern gadgets, dubious internet sites, and deviated programs which have driven many people towards eternal destruction and diverted them from guidance. We beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for soundness, for afiyat. Ameen. So we should make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He saves us from these sins. So here, staying away or looking after the eyes and the tongue. So staying away from futile speech and futile casting of the gaze. This is the Malfuz of Allama ibn Qayyim. Now Hazrat Wala is speaking about him, saying that these people, I heard much of them from Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab. So see, the Munafiqeen also read Salat in Masjidun Nabawi. They also listened to the talks there, etc. But there was no benefit. So this fuzul and futile talks, etc. People, they go to Bombay and they sit there for hours there at the harbor or at the beach. They got that built up area there. So they go there only for one niyat, so that they can pass time, and they talk away. Useless talk. So these people, Allama ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn Qayyim, they were definitely buzrug. Yes, they were a bit harsh or hard, if you would say, kurdura. So we should make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He saves us from these sins. Now, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab also was very convinced with these personalities. Allah Ta'ala keep us on the tariq, on this path, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to walk this path. Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat, inspire us to understand the ta'aleem of the Buzrugan-e-Deen and give us affinity with such type of knowledge. And then just before concluding, our Hazrat Wala is saying, Shabir Bhai, regarding this brother of ours in Zambia, he has passed away. He done great tremendous works, bahut bada kaam kiya, in the sense that he got all my works translated, etc. And that also without me even telling him. He was a very special person of mine, and today we are deprived of the loss of this friend. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him with his proximity So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give afiyat. All of them, the family members, all of them kept ta'alluq with me. Allah ta'ala give them all afiyat. They acknowledged me. So let us read durood and send it for him. He was original resident of Kapodra. So Allah ta'ala give afiyat to the house people, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give sukoon to them, and Allah ta'ala make maghfirat. And with much honor, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him entry into Jannah. So I've come here on many occasions and I've given talks. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.